Hello everyone, good morning. I'm Steve from UCAN English Tutoring. I'm very happy to inform you that I have already reached 1000 subscribers to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for your continuous support to help me out in posting more videos. Without you, it couldn't have been possible in such a short time. In this video, I'm going to assess one of my students' letters and provide the feedback, and then finally the overall score for her letter. Let's start the assessment now. She has written down the addressee's details on the top, which is good. She has written on the date of the letter as well. I'm happy with that. But the zip code or the postcode could have been moved to Wollongaba. So it could have been written down together in the same sentence. So that is a recommendation. And let's go to the next one. She has written on Dear Doctor because that's a general practitioner, so that's good. And then she has written on the reference details of the patient, that is Mrs. Gwen Watego, DOB. So the issue is that DOB shouldn't be written down. You have to always expand, the mistake, the abbreviations. So DOB is not good. You have to write down date of birth. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. The introduction paragraph is very well written down. I'm very happy with the way that you have written down your introduction paragraph. It doesn't have any grammatical mistakes at all. Let's read it. I'm writing to request a further investigation of suspected diabetes and services of the nutrition and the podiatry for Mrs. Watego, who was admitted in, okay, so it's again there is an issue, who was admitted in the accident and emergency department followed by a fall yesterday in the supermarket. Okay, instead of writing down in, okay, you should have done to. Okay, it is the inappropriate use of prepositions, but apart from that, the introduction paragraph was good enough. Okay, there's no other mistake. Okay, there's only one mistake, that is in relation to the use of prepositions. Let's go to the next one. Regards Mrs. Watego's social background. Mrs. Watego is a widow who does engage in the minimal physical activities. Okay. All right. Let's go to this one now. Okay. Let's say regards Mrs. Watego's social background. You should have written on regarding Mrs. Watego's social background, and then there should be a comma. And then you have written on Mrs. Watego is a widow. As you have already mentioned, the patient's name here, it's better to mention the personal pronoun, that is she is a widow. You don't need to mention the name again and again. Okay, so you could have mentioned she is a widow who does engage in. Okay, the next one is engage in the minimal. Instead of that, you should say engage with the minimal physical activities. Okay, that is what you should have done. All right, apart from that, this paragraph sounds good. Okay, let's read it further. She is a heavy smoker and consumes alcohol on a daily basis, especially at night. Her current body mass index indicates that she is under the obese category. So that's good. I'm happy with that. On admission, Mrs. Watego stated that she had a fall in the supermarket while she was with her daughter as a result of drip. So this is wrong, as a result of trip. You can't write down double P. So one is the spelling mistake, and the other is this phrase, as a result of trip, should have been placed right after the supermarket. So the problem is as a result of trip. It must be as a result of trip. TR, as a result of a trip. Okay, TRIP, and it needs to be written down after the supermarket. Say, for example, you should have mentioned on admission, Mrs. Watego stated that she had a fall in the supermarket as a result of a trip while she was with her daughter. Okay, so the whole sentence needs to be rewritten. All right, let's go to the next one. So the next one is upon, sorry, it's here. Okay, upon examination, there were grazes on her palms which were cleaned with antiseptic lotions. That's good. Regarding checkup on her feet, there was callus on her right feet and there were ulcers observed on her left foot. Okay, so let's say you have used right feet and then left foot. Okay, You should have used FOOT here as well. So on a right foot, instead of that, you could have mentioned a right feet. Instead of that, you could have mentioned right foot. Okay. And there were ulcers. Ulcers doesn't need any apostrophes here. You should mention ulcers without apostrophe. Okay, that's the next mistake. All right. This is the ones where ulcers. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. During her stay with us, there were blood and urine tests carried out. Her random blood glucose level was 11 millimole per liter, and urine test report indicated that there were a trace level of protein in her urine. Okay, so in this sentence, there are a couple of mistakes. Let's go through that. One is her random blood glucose level. You don't need to use the capital letters in the beginning of each word. You can simply use the small letters. Her random blood glucose levels, R and B and G, must be in small letters only. And there were so instead of that, you should have, instead of this, where is that? Yeah, there were a trace level. You should have mentioned that there was a trace level. Okay, that's the correct one. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, during her, oh yeah, that's done. Okay. All right, let's go to the next page. So the second page is, after Mrs. Vertigo's discharge, kindly arrange her to have an investigation for type 2 diabetes. Remember that all the diseases need to start with the small letter only, unless they are the first words of a sentence. Okay. So this must be written down like this. It must be written down type 2 and then small diabetes. Okay. Not the capital D. All right. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay. Um, as well as request her access the service from the nutrition and the podiatry service within the health center. Okay. As well as request for accessing the services. Okay, you should have mentioned as well as request for accessing the services. Okay, let's go through this. For access the services, for accessing the services. That's the thing. Okay. Please also note that a referral has already sent to the smoking quitline to support her. Well, in this case, there are a couple of mistakes. Let me go through the please also support that. It's better to say also please note that. Also please note that. Instead of writing down, please also note that. And then has already sent, that's wrong. Has never go with present verb. It goes with the third form of the verb. That is has already been sent. Okay. All right. One of the major mistakes with her writing is that her vocabulary could have been much better because she copied most of the words from the case notes, and that's not good. All right. That is a problem. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Grammar is not up to the mark as well. Sorry. So in the capital letter. Grammar is not up to the mark. So you should have rectified, the errors. For example, use of articles, prepositions, punctuation marks, verbs, and nouns could have been much better. So you should have improved, these mistakes. So it was not that good. Okay. All right. What's the next one? Let's say the spelling mistake. Spelling mistake. Spelling mistakes should be avoided. All right. Spelling mistakes should be avoided, and all abbreviations need to be expanded. All abbreviations need to be expanded. Okay. That is again an issue. Okay. The selection of words could have been much better. Use of prepositions isn't that good. All right. Selection of words would have been much better. The order of the words could have been much better as well. Use of small and capital letters is not up to the mark, is not up to the expectation. That's another issue. All right. Okay, let's go to the next one. Apart from that, this letter is okay. All right. Connectivity is fair enough. I'm happy with the way that you have been connecting, the sentences and linking the phrases, together. Connectivity is all right. Layout is also good. But what you could have done is in the first page of the letter, I'll show you what could have been much better. In the first page of the letter, let's see, where is that? Okay, sorry. Oh, it's here. Okay. Yes. Look at this. It's on admission. That's okay. You could have, this one could have been written down. This particular section could have been written down in a separate paragraph. Okay. So you could have placed it, separately, but that's all right. Apart from that, it's okay. It is just a recommendation only. I'm happy with that. And layout is good. Passive voice needs to be used effectively and correctly. Okay. All right. It's not that good. Passive voice could have been much better. Okay. So you could have used more passive voice sentence structures in order to achieve a good score under this one. Okay. Small and capital does need to be used correctly as well. Overall task fulfillment is okay. It's okay. It's not that bad. I'm happy with that. Let me go through the case notes. I need to understand whether you have included all the case notes that are appropriate and relevant. Okay. So this letter, write a referral letter. This is a referral letter, and it is written to the general practitioner of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Community Health Services, 55 Anadli Road, Wollongabba, and then 4102. Request further investigation for the possible type 2 diabetes and for nutrition and podiatry services within the center. So you have used within the center again and again, so that's not good. You could have used in your premises, in your, in your facility and things like that. But let's go through, all the case notes and then see whether you are able to include all the relevant case notes or not. So these are the case notes for Gwen Watego. Time allowed is 40 minutes. Read the case notes below and complete the writing task which follows. Today's date is 27/6/2012. You are a registered nurse at the Nanango Hospital, which is located approximately 200 kilometers northwest of Brisbane, Queensland. Nanango Hospital is a 10-bed acute rural health service with a 24-hour primary level emergency department. The hospital is generally staffed by one doctor and 10 nurses. On the weekends, there is no doctor, and the nursing staff manage all presentations to the hospital. Okay, consulting with the medical officer at Kingaroy Hospital by telephone if necessary. Nurses make the decision to admit and observe patients or to refer them to other health facilities if required. Jeevan Vitogo presented to the accident and emergency department yesterday after having a fall while shopping in Nanango. She was traveling from Murgon to Brisbane with her daughter Kate for NIDOC week. Patient details: Jeevan Vitogo, and then address. This is the address, Murgon, and then phone number, date of birth, marital status, next of kin. So as it is a referral letter, you need to include these things. Okay, you don't need to mention the phone number because it's not needed in this case. Or let's go further and then we'll confirm the same. General health: no known allergy, no current medications. Weight is 78, and then height is 161. BMI is 30. Waist measurement 88 centimeter. BP. So everything else is normal. All right. No reported recreational drug use. Smokes 15 cigarettes. Okay. Alcohol use. Drinks 3 standard drinks per night. Minimal physical activity. All right. Okay. Try to do something else instead of saying physical activities. You could have mentioned she exercises, or she has very less physical exercises or something. It could have been done. All right, this is the medical history. Had ear infection as a child, treated with antibiotics. Had pneumonia 12 months ago. All right, so these two are the things. Okay, let's go to the next page and see. Does not know her parents and is not sure about family medical history. So yeah, that's all right because she doesn't know anything. She doesn't have any family members. You could have included that. I think this could have been included, but she didn't include. I think so. Social: husband died 2 years ago. You could have included that as well because there's no one to support her. So it's better to mention those things. Presented to the accident and emergency department following a fall. Didn't see, step and tripped outside Coles shopping center. No loss of consciousness. Didn't hit head. Grazed both palms of hands. Felt dizzy after fall. Yeah, these things are important. On examination, alert and oriented observations as above. Hands cleansed with antiseptic. No switches required. That's not needed. Complaining of pain in food. Both feet examined. Yeah, that's all right. Because look at this. Both feet. Feet is a plural noun and foot is a singular noun. And that's where she has got confused. Okay, callus on plantar surface of the right foot, ulcer on the plantar surface of the left foot. Okay, it was just the ulcer only. There is no need to mention ulcers. All right, she has used ulcers. That is plural noun. Okay, so that's not good. Not previously scanned for diabetes. In view of risk factors, random blood glucose taken to stay in the hospital overnight for observation. Urine analysis. Traced protein. You don't need to mention it's a trace of protein. You don't need to say trace level of protein. That is wrong. So you should say in her urine examination, there was a trace of protein. That's it. Okay. And the observation satisfactory overnight, random blood glucose level 11. That's all right. Needs testing, plasma glucose and or after OGTT. Fit for discharge, but needs follow up of possible diabetes. That's where this letter. That's why this letter has been written down. Jeevan prefers referral to Brisbane Health Service as she will be staying with her auntie Ruth Jagara Elder. For several months. Risks of smoking and benefits of quitting discussed with the patient's referral to quit line. Okay, that's good. All right. So you have included almost all the case notes and one or two case notes. This, is not included. But apart from that, you have done a wonderful job. And yeah, I think you should be able to get a good score. But let me go through that. Almost all the relevant case notes were included. Congratulations. You've done a wonderful job. Let me see the expected score. All right, let's go through the mistakes and their severity. Well, you have committed about 13 or 14 mistakes. Okay, some of them are the recommendations, but most of them are the major ones, major mistakes. For example, mistake number 1 is a recommendation. Mistake number 2 is a requirement. Mistake number 6 is a recommendation because it's not a grammar mistake anyway, and 7 is a mistake, and then 8 has got 2 mistakes. Where ulcers, again, it was ulcer only. You shouldn't have done that because it was a singular noun only. They didn't mention anything about the plural noun, so that's an issue. Had random food glucose levels, there was okay. And then type 2 diabetes, yeah. Apart from that, there are a couple of spelling mistakes you could have committed. According to me, this one sounds very close to C plus. I can offer her perhaps 280 out of 500 for this letter. You have improved from 250 to 270, and now it is sitting at 280 out of 500. Anu, if you can rectify these mistakes further, you should be able to jump to 300 plus or even 350. I wish you good luck with your next letter, Anu. Thank you so much. If you would like to get your first letter and first role play conversation assessed at free of cost, which is going to be in line with that of the OET real examination, you can send an email to me at steve@ucanenglishtutoring.com, or you can contact me on my mobile or WhatsApp number, that is +614 You can also like my Facebook page, that is www.facebook.com/ucantutoring, to get regular updates on IELTS, PT, and OET examinations. I've been helping more than 12,000 students since 2008 to pass their OET, IELTS, and PT examination. I thank you so much for watching this video, and I would like to request you to share, like this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so far. Thank you and have a good day. Wish you good luck with your practice.